back, they probably knew that they had the upper hand, and that they maybe should have closed it out if they hadn't taken those 2 stupid fights that they did.
I think it can go both ways. When you come in as a massive underdog, and you play the team that is supposed to crush you pretty even in game
exactly,
1.
but if you're that close, that's going to tilt you even more.
It can mean a lot more, right? Because you're so close, you're right at the doorstep. What do you think, Kai?
I'm not sure about that. I would agree with Ellen there, especially if you're coming as the under into this matchup and you know that you could have won. Why would that tilt you? We're just going into the next game and saying, okay, we execute a bit better, and
I'm saying to myself, we can beat these guys.
Yeah,
we can play with these guys, and we can win.
And look at that, the crowd cheering. Tusk makes it through after that very first game, the opening game. We've seen that pretty much banned out the entire day, and now coming back for Team Secret. And then the Queen of Pain, the clock now going on over to Fnatic.
I think that's the most popular second round pickup. Queen and Clockwork together.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing pretty much all day here for anyone who's been going for the second picks. Well, as you guys mentioned, I mean, Secret, they kind of get that easy win, although it wasn't as easy as normal.
Should also mention the Shadow Demon ban coming out. Yeah, I think it was ironic through much of that match that the guy that was sitting on 4K net worth, when everybody else had 10K or more, was arguably the guy that for much of the match played the best. Ketchagimba had a heck of an opening game on.
And the Bloodseeker comes out. I mean, this is what we mentioned. This is why everyone likes to watch Secret, is that you go for kind of the normal composition, get that win. All right, now it's time to flaunt our stuff in game number 2.
I think this is exactly why it was good that Secret won game 1, because otherwise we may not have seen them sort of loosen up. And
that's very true. I mean, we may not have seen like the same composition come out for all 3 games for them, trying to really just secure that win. But they feel pretty comfortable now. Even if game 1 was close, a win is a win, right, Ben?
Of course, Bloodseeker's really exciting to see. What do you think are the strengths that Secret really utilize well? You're a big Bloodseeker fan.
I don't know. I like the fact that they don't necessarily just put it on Kuroki in the jungle, and they don't just put it on the carry either. And the way they utilize it as well is not through just farming on the carry, but it's actually ganking. And that's something we've seen been very popular throughout the day, right? We've seen Fear in the EG matchup where you just go ganking from the 6th minute and onwards on the Clinks. And I think that's exactly what Bloodseeker offers. You know, he's a potential late game damage dealer and everything, but more importantly, he's really good at setting up fights and ganks.
Yeah, even if the meta entirely throughout the entire professional Dota scene hasn't really settled down, at least for this weekend, we're seeing those trends. You want to go for the ganks and pretty much apply that pressure very early on, and starting from the mid game, it's all about the team fight. You need the disables and the coordination to go onward from there. A couple more bans coming out. The Zeus ban coming up from Fnatic.
I think it's a very good ban on the side of Fnatic. Zeus and Bloodseeker work really well together, just because of the Blood Rage that you can apply onto the Zeus, where you still get, even though it's global, you still get 50% of that damage on top. So it's a pretty worthy ban.
And when you add in the fact that S4 is one of the more accomplished Zeus players we've seen, I mean, that's when you take the combination of 2 heroes that are really good together, and you have at least one star player that's a standout on one of them. That's a dangerous combination.
So what heroes do you think Secret could sort of synergize with the Bloodseeker at this point in time? The Zeus is obviously banned out, knowing that they have done this before.
I think Puck's a really good substitute. It matches up well versus Queen of Pain. They don't have that much lockdown, and it offers a lot of control. We see the Dream Coil Bloodright combo very often.
Exactly. And like, we just saw an amazing Puck by Mushi. I think if anyone can do it better, it's probably S4.
Well, maybe, and that's why we're going to see that ban come out from Fnatic. So we won't be seeing any more Puck for now, unless we maybe
great bans by Fnatic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Fnatic next up to pick their heroes. Now, are they now still focused on maybe still taking some heroes away from Secret, or you've got some key bans out, now focus back on your own game?
I mean, right now it's quite obvious that they most likely will follow up with a support here.
I like a Wyvern pick. We've seen it really successful versus
Bloodseeker. Definitely. Winter Wyvern would be so good right here.
What other supports are pretty good? But it's just really good versus Bloodseeker in general.
I feel Undying is pretty good against Bloodseeker as well.
Well, I mean, Undying slipping through the cracks once again. And one thing to point out with the Wyvern is that you guys have been mentioning Secret not really utilizing the Wyvern as much as the other team. So maybe even if you really want it for Fnatic, you can secure some of those other heroes and then come back to it later on in the picking phase.
I was actually wondering if you look towards the Bloodseeker and what kind of combinations you can follow up with. Does Secret run the Tusk also in a non-offlane position?
10 seconds remaining.
Ask Alan.
Yes. let me see if our
I can see the
wireless
cogs
network
turning it
has
out,
decided to
so he's
work.
like searching.
Follow my thought is because I think an offlane Phoenix could be something as well. I don't think it would be too.
So far in this patch,
Yeah.
it's only been Zai.
Only-
Christopher playing the Tusk. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it move to a 4 role.
All right. I mean, yeah, that is the strength of Secret. And again, so far, sure, that's history for now, but that can change any time. And Secret also securing support for themselves and Dazzle.
Dazzle's one of their most stable supports across the past couple of patches. Just really, really good with the melee Zerg as well. If you snowball and then just drop a heal bomb, they also like the heal bomb in combination with PL, and they really make use of the offensive Shadow Wave.
It's their second most picked hero. They've had 9 Dazzle games already in this patch, and that's kind of what I like to think about with Team Secret is that they offset the variety in their cores with just incredible stability in their supports.
And the PL is not banned out yet. It could.
Right.
It still could be a pick on the side of Secret here.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to have that chance unless Fnatic feels really pressured to try to steal that away and go off of their own plans here a little bit. But otherwise, are we still maybe expecting a Wyvern pick here for Fnatic?
I mean, they can also transition because Secret has really terrible anti-push, and they can always go for, early 5-man strat with, let's say any mech carrier, generally like a mech, or sorry, a Pugna. Pugna Undying is actually very, very popular.
Disruptor pickup. Do you think they're expecting a Wiz pickup?
No.
No, Wiz is banned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they banned out the Wisp
Are
right
we
away.
assuming that this is going to be a Mushi Queen of Pain mid?
Yes.
So,
By the looks
so
of it,
far,
I would
right?
So. I would think so.
It should be. I think Disruptor is just a follow-up pick onto the potential snowball. It's when you can get the static storm on top of the snowball. It's pretty good follow-up in terms of locking people down.
10 seconds remaining.
All right. Well, Secret, we've been throwing our ideas around for what they're going to pick, but I mean, that's the beauty of watching this team. You never really
no
know.
gyro picker ban yet.
Reserve time.
Nope, yeah, not here. Saw a lot of it, of course, in the previous match between C9 and IG.
That's one of the few heroes that can still clear out those zombies really quickly.
I think they're right now also determining whether or not is that 4-position Bloodseeker or if it is a carry Bloodseeker. It's not given yet where he's going to go.
Right. And again, we also mentioned the possibility of Tusk going somewhere other than that off lane.
I really do think as Secret right now, you do have to think a little bit about your lanes, because Fnatic I think is gonna come at you really hard in this game.
All right. Yeah. Well, Secret are putting a lot of thought into it, going all the way through pretty much all their reserve time too, to decide their 4th pick and seeing how that affects the next bans coming out from Fnatic. How much does Secret want to show here before the last picks come out?
Spirit.
Oh, the Storm Spirit.
Fanatics turn to ban.
Left open and now picked up by Secret.
Pretty good. So far, there's not too much silence, which is usually a downfall for Storm. We've seen Storm not being that successful when there was a silencer in play that VP played, for example, where Storm was rather lackluster. But I think it's a solid pick here.
It's a potentially really, really tough game on the Queen of Pain with the Bloodseeker and the Storm Spirit. Very easy initiates on her
Reserve time.
throughout the early game.
Yeah. Storm gets an early Orchid here, and that Queen of Pain is in for a really, really tough time.
So are we looking at anything crucial that can really strengthen Secret's lineup? Or for now, I mean, what they've got is pretty much what you're dealing with. Whatever comes out is just going to complement it one way or another. So the ban's a little bit more generic for Fnatic.
I think they can get away with the 4 Bloodseeker fairly easy in this matchup.
The problem though is if you have a Queen of Pain on the Radiant side and you potentially get an uphill ward in the mid lane, Storm is going to have a tough time. It's not an easy matchup to run at all.
Yes. But then again, I still feel like of the two teams, Team Secret has a lot more options coming into the 5th pick here. They can slide, they can slide a lot of these heroes over into different roles. I think Fnatic is a lot more locked in.
Oh yeah, Fnatic is probably locked down more, but they can still, almost pick anything.
Fnatic?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out for sure.
They can almost pick anything. Wouldn't you think that they need a carry as their...
Oh yeah, but they can pick almost any carry as their carry. There's nothing that really
But that's what I'm saying.
stands out.
Right, but in terms of overall strategy and kind of what we're looking for in terms of role-wise,
yeah, definitely.
You know that Fnatic has to kind of fill out that role, especially going towards the later portion of the game. And there we always see the PL being banned out from Secret to kind of get rid of at least one of those options.
I still have a hard time. I think the gyro is really good here.
Remaining.
Yeah, it's still open. It would fill the role quite well.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm trying to think if they have the potential to aggro because.
Okay.
Okay. Dragon Knight last.
Dragon
Some stable lockdown versus Storm Spirit.
I really do not hope they put a Storm mid, the Dragon Knight mid against.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a mistake.
A really tough matchup for DK.
Even though Dragon Knight is like over 95% of his games are as a mid in this patch. He's almost been exclusively a mid.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking about the other options, though, here for Fnatic. They do have other options. I mean, you can have that Queen of Pain there and try to make something work out from there, at least make it stable enough, and maybe that gives the DK enough time to grow towards the late game. Techie's coming out. I know I saw some signs earlier today, like Techie's where fans were waiting for that. Techie's just waiting for the last one. Secret says, bam, there we go. Time to finish with a bang at the end of the day. The crowd is going wild. I think that's just an absolutely fantastic way to transition right into the game. Casters, what are we looking forward to in what could possibly be the last game of the first day here at ESL 1?
You know what? I would love to hear what he said, but I didn't hear it over this crowd. The roar is deafening, the Techies is real, and Seeker is the team to deliver it. With the Bloodseeker, with the Tuskar, it's the winning combo. Snowball it into explosive action. I don't think we want to speak. Just let the crowd have it. This is why Secret are basically one of the most popular teams out there. They will play anything, anytime, anywhere. What's at stake? It's a single elimination tournament with almost $300,000 up for grabs in the biggest stadium in Europe that we have for Dota 2. And they'll still be happy to pick up a Techies here in the grand final. They are one game up though. But still, this isn't just something that they're pulling out of their hat and saying, hey, this is just the first time. And they've done this before, Synderen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one of their tested combos with Snowball into Suicide Squad attack, which is very powerful against particular heroes in lane that have low armor. And there are some targets in this game for them for sure. Even a hero like Dragon Knight actually has very low armor until he gets some levels.
It's gonna be wartime already. Mushi's coming up behind the back, but Zai, well, he hasn't skilled up Snowball yet. Now he will, and Kuro was sitting right behind him.
No, they don't want to fight us. They'll just let Secret go in and do what they want, because pretty much anyone they catch is just an instant kill for this duo. And better safe than sorry here, I think, is the call for Fnatic, as they will probably try to get at least one rune. Maybe they can get the top one. Clock should be able to grab that from the Bloodseeker if he times it right. And, well, I'm just... Techies is a weird hero, man. It's really weird. It's like...
Dude, he's a controller. He's actually picked up an Orb of Venom. Orb of Venom is his first item, so he can try and play the distance game. He does no damage whatsoever. So having 4% move for speed slow is actually the best thing he gives. Top lane, Ohio, as well as Arteezy, already battling it out. And he does go for the first speed to start off with. Johnny almost also dies down the Radiant jungle, and that was the suicide from Techies roll in. So while it does show 1-0 on the kill count, it's completely incorrect. That's not first blood. That's just an attempt to kill off Undying.
Welcome to Demolition Team Simulator 2015.
Well, at
This
least
is the tutorial. This is where you try out your explosives. You find out how good they are. They were not that good. So now you need to wait for 2 minutes, then you can try them again. Or you could attack heroes for 30 damage in lane. So
and 4% movement speed slow, Sind.
That's true. He's got the Orb of Venom, which is actually really, really good on Techies. It's a way for him to deal damage. So he will hit Ohio here for a little bit. He's running double Rings of Protection, though, against the Suicide Squad attack, actually. It's pretty funny to see this build up from Ohio. This is going to be such a clowny lane.
He knows he'll survive for now. Until Techies actually has level 2 as well, none of the players on the rest of the map for Fnatic will be worried about mines being anywhere. I do kind of watch very closely this middle lane engagement. S4 going up against Mushi, because the first thing Mushi did when he came to this lane was walk straight past S4, up to the dire side high ground, and take the last hit on the range creep. Didn't care about S4 attacking him the entire time, but he's going to have to start to care. He's expected his bottle charges, and it's going to be just a trade-off of burst damage between the two. At the same time, also on top lane, Poppy as well as as well as Arteezy going to try and harass out this dual lane, which is really not easy. Like Queen of Pain and Dazzle, how are you even meant to win against such a lane?
Well, I think if nothing else, they should just be able to farm with the Bloodseeker. When he gets a couple of levels here, he should be able to sustain himself with Blood Rage and a little bit of Shadow Wave. Of course, with this low levels, the Puppey only being level 1, so he has the Shadow Wave only. He's actually getting harassed quite a bit here by KYXY, who is now going to lay into Arteezy. But you see it there, he's level 3. He gets 137 health for last hitting a creep with level 1 Blood Rage. So as long as he gets, let's say, 2 creeps per wave, he's going to be just fine. And apart from that, S4 is dominating mid lane as expected. This is a very Storm-favored matchup. And then in the bottom lane, Tusk from Zai is out-farming Ohio too, with Kuroki just harassing him out of lane and hitting really, really hard with his techies. And there's just no counterplay available. What are you going to do? He's got 700 range.
You're so funny, Sin.
Thank you.
6 seconds, and Kuro's got his ulti up full down, and now Johnny out to hold Johnny in position. Kuro's running in. Johnny doesn't want to be here. He doesn't have enough damage.
Okay,
he's too far away. Now he does, but Ohio's right behind him. Zai, he doesn't have mana for the shards. Then again, he can take that back. He's walking around with a mango. They lock him in the cogs. There's your explosion. Ohio, the shards will get the kill. Zai will take it out while up on top lane. KOXY blinks away from Arteezy, but is Zai out of the bushes? I don't think he is. Mushy with a haste rune, chasing him down. Zai's in trouble on bot lane. Into the tree line, wants to cut through, a quick salve, and he is dead. The Dragon Knight will get revenge, but it's still technically only 1 for 1, even though the board says 3 for 1. Because that is 2 suicides.
Yeah, that's the risky thing about this kind of lane. If they don't snowball, no pun intended, it's going to be difficult for them to do a lot until Kuroki hits level 6. So the problem is when these Suicide Squad attack kills fail, he doesn't get any experience, right?
Oh, they're going in again on Ohio. The shards to lock him in. There's no extra explosions apart from having that take his mine, but Ohio able to run himself away. That drops him down, and he's got no consumables left. Same with Johnny. Like, the only thing that's going to keep him alive on this bottom lane is Soul Rip, which isn't bad, but it's very expensive mana cost-wise for Undying.
Yeah.
100 mana each time he goes for it.
And of course, I think Secret they didn't play this lane until Techies got the buff with the Mind Trigger time, because this is not just about Suicide Squad attack, it's the fact that landmines have such a short trigger time now, it's half a second, I think.
Oh, they're going again. Yep. Bottom lane, Johnny snowballed in with that mine again, and Johnny is down. Undying will take the kill. I mean, the Undying will be split across all of Seeker as the catapult took the kill. How do you even prepare yourself for this? Like, if you're not worried about the suicide attack, you're worried about these landmines, as you said, with such a low cooldown. How do you even stay in the lane? You're always going to be able to snowball in.
I think Fnatic should have probably anticipated this laning, and maybe they could have put Quap down there, and that would have been better, because
so then you blink back behind the tower?
Yeah, you just blink behind the tower. If they try to snowball on you, you can counterplay them really hard. So that could have maybe worked, but then the question is who would have got a lot out of the top lane? Could they actually have played a Clockwork plus Disruptor up there against Dazzle Bloodseeker? I think that's a really difficult lane. So it's a bit of a trade-off where if this bot lane was going a little bit better, they would be fine. But the problem is they're essentially right now losing all 3 lanes, I would say. So that is not looking good for Fnatic whatsoever.
2 seconds, suicides off cooldown. S4 is also playing with Mushy. He might have enough damage here if he wants to jump, but there's not enough of a mana pool really for S4 to work with just yet. Yeah, but this suicide attack's off cooldown for Kuro, which means we've got... He doesn't have the full combo though, does he? Like, you need 275 mana for this, and currently sitting at 2-3.
He's getting bottled.
Okay, now he's got a bolt. Now he's got the combo. So level 2 mine, level 2 suicide attack. All they gotta do is just get in range of Ohio, and the cogs won't protect him from that snowball. That's
the problem as well, right? With Clockwork, you're generally expecting when you're playing a dual melee lane that you can always just, or sorry, not dual melee, but Techies technically just wants to get up in your face, right? That you can just drop the cogs and get out. But this particular lane is actually really good against him. So he has to try to find an alternative way of playing this, which I feel like just doesn't exist. Like, he has to roam, I think. If he plays this lane, it's not going to work. It's too late now to gank mid because S4 is level 7, so I don't think they can kill him. And with Quap only being level 5 in the top, I feel like this game is getting out of control, actually. 6 minutes in, Fnatic are losing heavily on their lanes. They're not getting levels of the heroes they need.
We're going again. Zai is close enough that he can actually snowball into Ohio, but actually no, Kuro backs up.
All right, out of control might be an overstatement, but it's definitely...
Here they go. Snowball in. The Shards won't get it perfectly. The Undying Tombstone, but there goes the Suicide, but it's not enough damage to kill off Ohio this time around. The Shards are a little bit too short, and the damage combo wasn't there.
And the dumb thing about this is that they lose nothing.
Top lane, Mushy. Haystone jumps in. Puppey instantly balled up. Shallow Grave can't get time for it. So the stun will work, and they just chip into the tier 1 tower on the top lane. So it's
they get Arteezy, though. He is really fast. Who is low on the map right now? The bottom lane for Fnatic are both very low.
Snowball in. They're going on Ohio. Actually, that's just Zai getting the hell away with Ice Shards. He's actually got Ohio trapped for the moment. But Ohio's up to level 6, and he's still fairly tanky. Arteezy. With Puppey returning to the top lane, he's considering just chipping away at him. Comes in for Mushy, actually dropping him down pretty low. And Arteezy, he's going to move really quickly. You cannot run away from this one. You almost have to solidify, especially when S4 comes zipping himself in on the Mushy. No Vortex mana, but it's still enough to do the work. Arteezy, he's lost his bloodthirst. They got the kill on the target they wanted. So now he's unable to have that bonus movement speed. Ohio and Johnny too far away. Back in base at the moment.
It feels like Fnatic have that's one of the strengths of playing a lineup like this. They have no experience playing against these kind of heroes and this kind of composition. So even if they've seen it before and they might have we expect Secret might run this Techies Tusk thing and we've seen other teams play it and we think we have a plan. Even if you have a good idea, it's so much different watching from playing in this situation. It's very stressful for them, I think, right now. And they feel like they can't really find a grip in their lanes, and it's only going to get harder. So, in my opinion, a lot is on the shoulders of Kachik in this game with the Disruptor. I think he has to get some really good storms as mid lane. Yeah, this Mushy's Dragon is going to be in a lot of trouble. Might actually be able to survive with this defensive TP. Absolutely not.
At the same time, up on top lane, hookshot into Cog to Barrier Assault and full Sonic Wave committal. Killed off Puppey. That's all they managed to achieve with that kill. And Fnatic, they're going to need more than a support kill for this. And in fact, Arteezy battling up against KOXY. Can't blink himself away, so KOXY is dead. And S4, with the TP up, grabs himself a double kill. No more mana for more zips, but this Orchid is rapidly approaching. The top tower gets denied. The Bloodseeker's fine with this. And again on bottom lane, we're going in for the ball. After Johnny, where's your punch? There it is. Suicide not even required. The mines are now doing the work at level 3. And they get the kill on the Undying Secret. Just pressuring every single point of Fnatic's nervous system.
And it's going to be tricky for them when Kuro starts hitting... He's close to level 6, actually, on the Techies. That's one of the really big benefits of running a lane like this. Techies is usually a hero that's super slow at leveling up because you depend on mine kills. If you're not successful with them, you could see Techies not reaching level 6 before, say, minute 15 to 20. But when you run a dual lane like this, even though they haven't been massively successful, he's still going to get it around minute 10. And Fnatic will have to be so careful with how they move on their map. And to be honest with you, they really can't afford buying True Sight right now on any of their heroes because they've lost all the lanes. So this is a very, very big problem, and everything definitely going according to plan for Secret. Look at those last hit scores, so far ahead.
They're ripping it up, and the towers are going to start to be brought down as well. We started talking about all the power that Techies has up against heroes, throwing down mines, having explosions. But the amount of damage that these mines do to towers, and of course the cast time through of it, it's very difficult to get that fortification straight off. And again, we're seeing this similar build to what happened during our placement matches, where we get this Hand of Midas actually 2 minutes earlier than he did during the placement match on this Bloodseeker. And now, hookshot bottom lane, they go after Zai, Snowball for protection. Kuro just has to get out of here. He doesn't have enough mana, in fact, he's caught in the edge of the storm. The Snowball will come in with a double stun, but in comes S4-2, focusing the disrupt to Zai. He will eventually drop. And, well, actually, there's no real revenge. Tusker buying back into the game. They want to try and fight on bottom lane. S4, there's not a lot of mana really to work with. And with this Tuskar sigil up, they're slowing everything down. It's almost that, in fact, the tower is not going to kill it off. It's down to 2 HP. There's your stun. Snowball in. Sonic Wave going to miss. They're inside the Snowball with a Blood Right also coming in. They have to back up behind the tower, but S4's following them down. Picks up Ohio. They've lost Queen of Pain as well. Mushy. How long can he survive? A little bit longer with that Soul Rip from Johnny, but that's not going to be much longer as Arteezy in behind the trees, killing off Johnny, moving to Mushy. It's a rampaging Secret into the minds of Techies. They were hiding in the tree line from Kuro. He'll find the kill, and they'll take that bottom tier 1 tower and the fight to boot.
And they got exactly what they wanted out of that Zai buyback. He actually bought back and ported back to the tier 1 bottom. And the only reason that worked was that Fnatic got kill hungry. They really wanted to jump Puppey and try to get an advantage in the fight, but Zai was in position to get the snowball. When the Sonic Wave whiffs entirely, that fight is just over. They cannot afford to get dodged by that, like that by the snowball. And you know, I said a lot has to come down to Kachik's play. I think he made the perfect play. His disruption, or sorry, his kinetic field static storm combination was great. He got the glimpse onto the storm as Zai in the mid gonna get jumped again. I think he might not really have a good snowball target right now.
He doesn't have a target, but he might be able to buy enough time for the rest of his teammates to arrive. The Sigil drop, the TP support's coming in, one charge and bottle charge available, and now they go for the rupture on Mushi. With the shards, they try and separate the fight too. The rest of Secret are not coming up to fight, but Koro, well, there's a little present there, and Ohio's going to open it, and with the explosion, everything's going to go down too. Suicidal was able to get the spill damage out to Disruptor, kill off the Clockwork, and they thought they were getting an advantage back after pushing him back down the mid. S4's going again. He's actually going to go again. He's jumping, keeping this regeneration rune up, and then just goes on KYXY. Look for that vortex timing, wants to wait for the time for the blink, and this is basically the moment. Maybe not even need it. There's your jump up, ball lightning up with the overload. Easy kill for S4. And that's practically Orchid.
Techies is just one of those heroes that completely changes a game. I can really feel, like, just watching how Fnatic move around the map and what they're doing, they are super frustrated. Like, they can't just play the game the way they're used to, because they have to second guess themselves every time. Like, Techies is one of the best heroes in the game when you get ahead, because the enemy team don't know where they can move and when. So it's like, it becomes like this kind of psychological warfare where you don't only play against the enemy team, you play against your own doubts the whole time. And this time they're really confident running up that cliff. They lose 2 heroes because of it. Now for the rest of the time in this game, they will barely dare go into their own jungle. Look at them right now. Like, they're really hesitant to just walk up the staircase.
And in fact, now they're warning, hook shot up, they found Kuro. Suicide is not available, but they lock him inside the wall. This will be the death of Kuro right now. Disruptor will take it, and Puppey stunned up. They'll find both the supports here of Secret, but at the same time, the Orchid jump. KYXY isolated on the back end. He'll die, and Puppey, the shallow grave, it won't keep him alive long enough. The Blood Right was going to give him enough space to get back, but Mushi stuck with it. He found the kill. And Tusker, Zai, he's in pretty close here. But at the same time, they've got no vision of the high ground.
There's no way he can do this.
What, Mushi? No.
That was pretty decent for Fnatic. They went for it. They had the sentry ward planted in the area, so they knew they could go for the hook shot right there, and they get the static storm down at the right time from Kachik, so Kuro can't use Suicide Squad attack. And oh, he actually had on cooldown anyway, so there was no play there. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So they have to commit more and more money into this true sight. And in the meantime, S4 is 6-0 on the Storm Spirit. And if you just look at the kill-death score, it's not representative, because I think 4 of Kuro's deaths are suicides. So it's technically 7-14, I believe. So the lead for Secret is bigger than it just looks here.
Oh, and S4,
yeah.
That's with a double damage rune as well to rip through a high. The Soul Rip will keep him up. And S4, he's low. He's got to get out of here. Ball lightning's away. They got the kill. It was actually Techies that managed to get it. I don't know if that was actually with a right click or not. But S4, shallow grave. Is there enough time? And ball up. He doesn't have a lot of life for the one charges. Here comes the Sonic Wave. Kuro will commit suicide and gets the kill on the Queen of Pain. Into the shards. They're trying to control Johnny, but it's actually Arteezy in the middle of the fight. All the movement speed in the world. Johnny is still pretty low, but he's trapped in there with Arteezy, who moves over for a double kill. S4 pulling back Clockwork. This will be a dieback for Ohio. There's 6 heroes down. The price was still the buyback of S4. But you got to buy back and die back out from the Clockwork, so well worth it. And they took the tier 1 tower to boot. This may even be Roshan if they can. Do they have enough for it?
They don't have any mines there, right? It's going to take them quite a while to do that. They have no medallion, I believe. I do think Puppey is building for it. Maybe it's actually flying out. It is. So, yeah.
Yep, it's on the courier.
I guess it's time with the medallion. They should be able to do it in time.
And Zai's also finished a full Glimmer Cape. That's also over on the courier.
10,000 golden experience league minute 15. The entire map is being taken away from them, too. Like,
Fnatic are coming. They saw the fact that Roshan's being done, but then again, they may just be too late, because Roshan with -4 armor and the Sigil slowing them down, yep, they've got this. Fnatic cannot reach it in time, even with the rocket scouting it out. They'll realize that now Storm Spirit has 2 lives.
S4 is getting really, really strong. 8 kills, 1 death. Has the Orchid, has the Aegis minute 16. It feels like he can build for as aggressive items as he wants, because he will more or less always be the one to get the jump. And even if he fails, as long as Zai is in Glimmer Cape range, there is no counterplay for Fnatic. I don't think they can kill us.
Mushy in from the rear. This one's going to break. Perfect hook shot into the double stop. Kuro and Zai, they're down for the count. S4 also being stunned up. 2 heroes down for Secret. Fnatic, great fight for them. They just got to hold this advantage, and they should be able to. The Tombstone's down. Secret have no intention of coming back for this.
Yeah, they need more than those 2 kills. It's about 2,500 gold for them, so that's pretty big, but they want more. They want this tower. And if they can get the game back to even, I think they have a pretty good shot. Like, the really difficult part of the game is, after losing the laning stage, not getting completely run over until minute 25. Like, this fight is a very, very big comeback.
Arteezy's coming in. Rupture. Zip goes S4. Chasing after Mushy. The blood right. Perfect position. Mushy's not going to like this one, especially with the Orchid. The Sorib can't keep him alive, and the Battery Sword can't hold him up either. In fact, the Orchid was used over on the Disruptor, so they found 2 for this. Ohio, no stuns. He'll be able to TP himself away to safety, but Johnny's on the run and losing armor quickly because this Weave that's now on top of him. Arteezy, all the movement speed in the world to chase after. He goes down. Bloodseeker being brought down by the tower, and Johnny will survive through all of this, and in fact Secret in a really bad position. KOXY with a Sonic Wave to heal from Puppey. It keeps him alive for now. Shadow Grave on S4, no mana left, just tries to turn the damage into him. He'll die. There goes your Regulus Immortal as Techies will again blow himself up. But S4, not pushed back by the cogs. Okay, he walks into him. Now he's pushed back by the cogs. But Secret really getting aggressive up against Fnatic.
Just when I said Fnatic needed to get that tower and try to not get run over, they immediately just get engaged on like that. But they managed to come out with an even fight, I guess, all in all there. They didn't lose gold, I think, after that exchange, so
no, it was pretty level
in it, but this is still such a big mountain to climb. And it just feels like the moment Secret take one good fight, if they get ahead in the fight, S4 will just pick more kills, and he's going to find one bottom. He's going to go on Mushy as the DD.
Yeah, Glimp's going to pull him back out, though. The damage on Mushy isn't enough for the Orchid to trigger him.
I still think S4 is happy with this. If he saw the TP from Johnny, it's a TP rotation. He forces Mushy back to base. Kitschik gives his position away. It's a lot of information from this play that Secret can use for their next play.
Kuro, the defender of Tier 1 towers, won't let a single one go, and in fact the double sentry walls that got planted out he's going to get rid of. That's really costly for Fnatic. Every sentry ward is like gold up against Techies. And now it means that basically Kuro can lay as many mines as he wants to in the mid if he wants to prep them like that, but the way we normally see Kuro, he throws them down when they're required. Not that much prep into the trees.
It's pretty funny to see Techies played this way, where, you know, it's so different from the norm that it's a completely different hero than the usual Techies, which is also a completely different hero from every other hero.
He's starting late. He's putting down the mines on top of the camps now. Yourself will arrive for Queen of Pain shortly. It's Kuro. He is actually preparing traps. And the sentry ward is, actually, I think it's just out of range.
It is.
It clips the edge of the mine, but doesn't hit the middle of it, so it shouldn't reveal it. Now hookshot up, but already Kuro! Double kill in the trees! Bada bing, bada double kill. It looks too easy.
What a hero.
That's a Dota hero, Sid. That's a Dota hero.
Are you sure?
I
feel like I'm watching another game.
I'm watching a terrific game. For any troll that is out there, this is your style of game. And after this match as well, Techies' pick rate inside all matchmaking games is going to go up by at least 15%. You're hearing this unconfirmed stat here first.
Do you want a spoiler?
What's the spoiler, Sind?
They will not have this success rate.
Probably not. Not unless they're Kuro. He really does play this well, and it's the combination with Zai. They've just got this down pat, and it's not always just going in for snowball or suicide attacks. Like, that was only the first couple of kills because you just realize how much damage you can do with the very early burst combination of damage between the two of them. What makes it even better is the fact that Kuro, he's one of the, I want to say oldest players, but he's been around, so he's one of the veterans of the scene, and he just can read the play so well. Not Zai, Glimmer Cape, that Sentry Walker still see him. Hook shot up, Mushy gonna be on the backbone with a stun. Zai needs more space here. 9-1 charges will not be able to keep him alive. He'll accept his fate and die. But yeah, Kuro can really predict play very, very well. So he knows where Fnatic is going to want to go next. And he just prepares for that position. But he can't save the tier 1 in mid. His days are over.
Well, he didn't predict that.
I think even if he did, he realized he cannot stop it. Because there's no way you really want to push into a tower, well, actually, without dropping a sentry ward, which they actually didn't do. But they had an observer ward up, so they knew that he wasn't prepping any mines.
Now, here's the challenge for Fnatic is, all right, they spot him with a rocket. They have a really good idea of their mines there. I think what they need to do is they need to buy a gem, and then they have to scout with rocket before they go up every single high ground, so they don't, or like every single like tight spot where there might be mines, they have to play super safe. But I think the gem is the way back into this game. It's the general counter against techies in pub games, and it is also the counter to techies in competitive, where the problem they've had so far in this game is that I think they feel like no one can afford it, but you know, Disruptor will have to be all right with having Tranquil, Boots, and Wand as his only items, because they will definitely need that item in the next few.
There might be another issue too, the fact that they're running 3 melee heroes on Fnatic. Who really has the attack range to bring down these big kegs without taking the spill damage? I'm assuming Disruptor will be fine with that.
Queen of Pain is okay too. Dragon Form? If he's in it already, you don't want to pop Dragon Form to destroy remotes generally. But
yep.
He's actually standing on top of one right now.
Well, if they
I guess Kuro will steal the big centaur. Nope. Right, he keeps it secret for now.
I was actually wondering if they're waiting for like just the right time to snowball in, pop the mine, pop off the explosion. Then you would be able to kill off Mushy.
Like if you're watching, all right, if you're watching Dota 2 for the first time ever, and you look at like a guy running around placing mine like this, you're like, oh, that's why they're called Team Secrets. Like, you actually have no idea what you can do on the map right now. They're just playing in the shadows. It's like, you can relate to this a lot more if you've played other games than if you've only played.
His trap may actually work. He's got 3 mines on the right. The smoke's not breaking. Kuro is actually too far to the left. The smoke has not broken. So Fnatic will be able to go for a bit of a loop-de-loop. And now they'll come in. Remember, this nighttime vision is pretty bad, and Zai blinks himself up. Mushy already triggered Dragon Form, and they're coming down to the tier 2 tower, but you got Puppey TPing out from the trees, going all the way back to base. They have no desire to fight this, but at the same time, they're really happy.
With every failed smoke gank, I think they're definitely not happy. Like, I mean, one way you dodge a bullet, but on the other hand, it's your way back into the game. You have to, these ganks have to result in 1 or 2 kills. Actually, 1 kill is not even sufficient. It needs to result in 2 or more, because they've got to have the feeling that Secret's just flat out farming them, and that they're going to play a similar game to last game where you're just going to spread the map. This time it's going to be a Storm Spirit instead of the Quap for S4. RTZ on the Bloodseeker with Shadowblade and BKB can just farm away, not really scared of getting ganked since BKB has been the first item picked up by Mushy. So the lanes will always be in Secret's favor, and Roshan is just theirs to claim whenever it spawns, because once again, Fnatic don't know if they can go there. Did they buy a gem yet?
They can't go. No, they bought 2 sentry wars and an observer 30 seconds ago. That's their only detection. But Kuro is literally making Fort Kegger right now on top of this hillside. No one wants to walk up there. And they can't get close enough to kill off, like, to even contest Roshan. S4 now gets an Aegis the Immortal. This is the second gone uncontested. And you actually ask yourself now, how is Fnatic meant to even enter their own jungle?
With a gem. There we go.
But even if you got a gem, you need to get high ground vision up here.
They've got rocket.
Yeah, they have rocket.
I mean, they still need to get around it, but
yeah, you can get snowballed out. You can, like, the second you drop low too, then RTZ's got the like max movement speed.
It is not a safe play, but it's the only play. So you're kind of forced to do this.
And this could be a good play. S4, long jump in. He actually goes for the Disruptor, but you got the Blink Dagger now on Mushy. Jumping in on S4 with the Tombstone down. S4 doesn't really have a lot of mana here. He does, however, have 1 a Courier kill and 2 an Aegis of the Immortal. So they find themselves a kill. They try to drag them back up to the mines, and now Walrus punch up with the shards. They isolate Ohio, protect him inside the snowball. The cogs might go down, and now they come out. They're so low with the Shadow Wave damage. They kill off Clockwork. S4 still alive. Remember, he's got Aegis the Immortal. Kuro glimmercates himself away of safety on 22 life. Now they Bleed Scream in, but you're approaching death, Mushy. The BKB, half a second, it's gonna go, and balls! 4 heroes down, about to be 5. Johnny Hawken of the snowball comes in, it's all 5 dead. Disruptor, this fight's gone so long, and he's just so level, he's already respawned. and they drop the gem in true sight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now they just need to hold for another, how many minutes is that?
How can you hold?
They can get a gem in 9 minutes.
You are Mr. Optimus, Syndrome.
Well, like I said, they have to try to make that play. I think the fact that it fails, they just got outplayed there, but they did the right thing. Like, they should have moved differently. They should not have fallen for the bait, and they had to have the gem walking with them. They fell into the trap of having Undying pull back, and he was the one with the gem, and everyone else chased for the kill. So if he's there, they don't go for that chase, and instead they just end up losing 5 heroes again. I think that was the entire team that got wiped. Right?
Yes, it was.
It definitely was. So
it was a 5 for Kuro, and he actually died. But it also showed the frustration of Fnatic that you blink both your DK and your Queen of Pain over to kill a techies during a fight. And now Arteezy maybe a little bit of trouble as Mushy blinks in on him. Movement speed, well, okay, he's got Shadow Blade, and he's actually finished up the full Silver's Edge. This DK has just gotten a hell of a lot weaker.
Yeah, you can remove the full Dragon's Blood with Break. It's essentially a minus 12 armor in that case for the duration of the Silver Edge attack, so it's definitely going to be very useful against him. There's nothing else that you can break in this game, I think, right? Absolutely nothing. Of course, the damage reduction will always go to any hero, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's no other passives, so.
The mine just gets planted again after he steals the creep. There's just nowhere the Fnatic can feel free to do what they want. Now, maybe in middle lane, hook shot down on Zai, but Snowball, well, it's actually on cooldown, but they'll still commit the ultimate in from the Disruptor, but here comes S4 with the right. They're going to try and glimpse him straight back out again, but the damage has already been done to the Undying. Oh, Puppey is solo killing a Disruptor on the sidelines. You got the rest of them on the front lines, taking killing off the track at night. And Queen of Pain also not healthy on S4. Sliced him too with Ball Lightning. From one side of the river to the other, now up to 10 Bloodstone charges after only just purchasing this. The Clockwork is the only sole survivor for Fnatic. And with Techie still alive, the pushing power into this tower is so big. Just watch the pop from the mines. You can work through building so quickly, not to mention the spill damage will hit both range and melee racks if you place it right.
There's absolutely no buybacks on the Radiant side. They should definitely be able to get the tier 3 here. They're not going to be scared, even if there were buybacks. I'm not sure Secret even need to be nervous about taking this fight. Kuro will be taking out the tower very soon. Good timing in the glyph here from Fnatic. We'll delay it as much as they can. It's still 15 seconds. Arteezy is hitting very, very hard and fast with this Blood Rage.
Look at Kuro's prep already. He's putting kegs on the back lines as well as stasis traps. So if Fnatic do try and chase them out to get these runaway kills, then Kuro's just going to punish a hook shot in from Ohio, and maybe now they have enough damage, but no, Arteezy forced up down the cogs. They'll run back. Remember that one keg is still there. Mush is standing on top of it. But where's your damage? S4 pulled back, orched it up. Shallow Grave will buy protection, which means he's got jump ball time. Away to safety with the TP. Another Sonic Wave reaches in from KYXY. S4 will drop, but it's a trap. They're in on KYXY. Double keggers. Do they want to throw it down? More supports coming in. No. Oh my! Triple kill for Kuro. Mistakes were made and traps were triggered. And now even Mushy locked inside an icy prison of shards. And he will go down. He wants at least the kill on. He can't get anything. GG! 30 minutes. Fnatic have been 2-0'd out by Secret's Techie's wonderful combo, wonderful play, and smiles all round.
Oh, that is just like, those kind of strategies are just, it's such a strange game, but it's super entertaining, and